What's up guys, Doomsday here. Today we're back again, and in this video we're going to be playing some Wukong in the jungle. So this is actually the first match of the new season that I'm doing. So I thought I'd play some Wukong, but in this match I'm actually going to go for a different build. So a normal Wukong build I like to go is Black Cleaver into Guardian Angel and Sterix Gauge. But for this match I thought I'd go with Trinity Force first and then work into Sterix Gauge and Guardian Angel. So for this gameplay, we're actually going to be jungling up against a Kha'Zix. And the first thing to notice is that their enemy top laner is leashing, and that's a very good trick to know where the enemy jungler started, which buff he started at, is if one of the laners are leashing, then they're going to be missing for the first few seconds. As you can see, Nami just showed up on the top side. So that means that they leashed on the red buff and Kha'Zix started red. Now if you're familiar with Kha'Zix and what Kha'Zix's strengths are, one of his strengths is that his jungle clear to begin with is just super fast and super strong. So the clear that most Kha'Zix players go is from red, and then they work their way over to blue side just because that gets you the most levels and it's super fast for Kha'Zix. Now, as a Wukong, I can make a choice because either way works for me, really. It doesn't matter for me. I can either clear my red side only, or I can clear my red buff and then work to blue buff. But the reason why I need to do a full clear here, and again, I'm sorry for the pauses. I know some people don't like it, but I just want to explain to you all and show to you all why I want to do this full clear instead, because if I did a one-sided red clear, just these three camps, and then I head into Scuttle, Kha'Zix is of course going to do his normal red and then into wolves and raptors and then blue and then come to the Scuttle, and we'll be fighting at the Scuttle. Now, what's the deciding factor to the Scuttle between us two? It's not this 1v1. That's a mistake that a lot of people make, is it's not the 1v1 that'll decide. It's this mid lane and this bottom lane that's going to decide. Now, look at this bot lane, the matchup. This is the matchup that made me decide I want to go for this top Scuttle instead. And it's because it's two ranged versus a melee and a ranged. And of course, their two ranged is just stronger early. They have the wave shoved in. So imagine if I just did a one-sided jungle clear and I fought the Kha'Zix over here. This duo would rotate on me. I'd get rooted up by the Cena and I would just get bursted down by Kha'Zix. Instead, I'd rather just go for the full clear, get this Scuttle uncontested. Nami shouldn't be a problem at this point. So that's the plan that I'm going for. And I'll just let Kha'Zix have the bot side Scuttle instead of fighting for that. And plus our mid too. Our mid's getting shoved in too, so the Katarina would be very strong to rotate. So now I'm just taking my blue buff. This top side is fighting pretty hard. And one thing that I'm keeping an eye on is, watch over here. The Nami flashes. I actually see this. I'm watching this right as I'm clearing my buff. And I'm keeping an eye. What is this Nami going to do? Is this Nami going to back off, or are they going to try and clear another wave, or what? And it's obvious that they want to crash this wave. And let me talk to you all about why they want to crash this wave. This is actually the Nami got themselves in a sticky situation here. Because if they leave this wave here, and then both the laners come back, the Garen can freeze this wave. This is a perfect freeze over here, and that would really hurt the Nami in the lane phase. But then if they push this, they should be aware that there's a good chance I'm at my blue buff and I'm doing a full clear. So I'm in the area. I know the Nami already flashed, but notice what I do here. Notice what ability I engage with. I am not using my third ability yet, and there's a very specific reason for that, and that is the reason, the Nami bubble. I know they don't have flash, but that Nami bubble, it can really throw you off if you're trying to chase somebody, and if you get hit by that, it oftentimes becomes very hard to chase people. So that's why I saved my third ability in case, and just because I did that gank, I was a little bit delayed in taking this. So Kha'Zix made his way up here, and see what I'm talking about? Kha'Zix's clear is so fast. He's already at the Scuttle, and just watch the minimap. Watch how much I'm pinging. I already pinged this before. I already spam ping, but now I'm spam pinging my Garen. I'm like, Garen, come here. Because it is these side lanes that are deciding factor. It's not going to be necessarily the 1v1. Of course, you can make a difference, but over here now, I'll go straight on to the Kha'Zix. I force a flash out. I just counter flash and pick up the kill. I know the Nami doesn't have flash, and they got themselves into weird spots. So we're able to take him down here too. He's able to dodge the bubble this time. And what do I do here? I don't know what I did in this. I don't know why I didn't take the Scuttle. The Scuttle is right here. I don't think I trolled that. Okay, just be honest with you. I don't know why I didn't take that Scuttle at all, but I think I was just recalling to go back to my red buff. But I definitely should have took that Scuttle there, because that's what the entire point of that fight was, but it's fine. Oh, and what am I doing here? So, think about what just happened. I just killed the Kha'Zix, okay, and now we both resetted. What is the Kha'Zix going to do, and what's my strength right now? Well, one of my strengths right now is I reached level 5, okay? I have my ultimate. My ultimate is huge, of course. You get 2 knockups from it if you land it right. And I see this bot side's very overextended. So I'm thinking about, do I go for this? And a really key factor as to why I'd go for this is because I know where the enemy Kha'Zix is. And you might be saying, how do I know where the enemy Kha'Zix is? I don't have any vision of him. Well, it's because think about where the Kha'Zix started. They started on their blue buff, they worked their way over to the red buff, or they started at the red buff and they worked their way over to a blue buff, right? So their timers are almost identical to mine. When my red buff spawns, their red buff is going to spawn. When my blue buff spawns, well, theirs is going to spawn a little bit earlier because Kha'Zix's clear is a little bit faster, but you get the point. So I know right now, if you're the Kha'Zix, you're respawning in base, what do you see? You see a full health Garen, you don't gank that. You see an Akali underneath turret, you can't do anything. You see these two underneath the turret, you can't do anything. You're all the way back here. So the only logical choice is going over to your red buff, because your red buff just respawned, and that's what you're going to want to take as a jungler. So I know he's going to be at his red, and we could check to see, turn the fog of war off. Yep, they're at their red, so I literally know where he is. So I'm fine going for this. I'm fine forcing this. Sadly, they actually back off. I think they caught sight of me. They flash out, which is fine, I guess. They burn flash to get out of that. But I know exactly where this Kha'Zix is. He's taking the scuttle, which I did not take and definitely should have taken. I don't know why I didn't do that. Let's see. I was keeping an eye in case this Kha'Zix was going to keep on chasing. Go back to taking my jungle after I realized that that was not going to happen. So now what's Kha'Zix's moves? Kha'Zix can either take my jungle, gank this top side, or go back to his blue buff. So those are the options I have to consider. That top side's pretty healthy, so he won't be able to gank that Garen. Chances are he's most likely recalling to go onto his blue buff. Let's check. I don't know. Is he? Oh, okay. No, he's actually taking these. Dang, I was wrong there. Okay. Well, as you can see, his blue... Okay, the blue buff hasn't spawned yet. What am I talking about? As you can see, my blue buff is spawning. His blue buff is spawning. So that's really key. And over here, I actually see the Katarina was rotating. Let me turn this back off. I noticed the Katarina over here on this ward, so what do? I sit in this bush. I don't pop out over here. I wait for this Katarina to go for the engage, and then I just ult him underneath turret. I'm able to get a very good counter gank there. Do I pick up all three of these? Let's see. Yes, I do. So I get 3 kills there. That's very good of me, and it's very key for me not to pop out before they engage, because of course Katarina has that ability where they could just blink to an enemy or to an allied unit, so they would just blink away and I wouldn't be able to do anything, or they wouldn't even engage and turret dive that. So it's very key for me to wait till they go for the engage. So now I'm sure that the Kha'Zix has to be on their blue. Let's see. Yep, the Kha'Zix is next to the blue. They're on the blue side. And really this is very important as a laner to understand, because if you know exactly where the enemy jungler is going to be, or the highest percent chances of where they're going to be, then pretty sure this Nami's just going to flash over. Yep. If you know almost exactly where the enemy jungler is going to be, then you can predict if there's a chance that you're going to get ganked or not. Okay, so I was actually putting the 2 parts of my video together because, as you'll see later, I actually got a phone call in the middle. So I was watching this over and I actually caught on this part, and there's another play I could have made here. So I know the Nami flashed over that wall, and I know the Kha'Zix is taking his blue buff because I've been tracking him pretty well, and I know he's on that side. So instead, because I always mention this in one of my videos, but one of the pressures of going for turret dives is that the enemy jungler is going to pop out. You're going to get rotated on by the enemy mid. But I know where the enemy junglers in mid are. They're both on this bot side over here. So instead, I could have gone for a quick turret dive on that top half. Because one, I know Garen has ult and he could take up turret shots like a beast. And Nami doesn't have flash. So that would have been a free kill there. And then I could have tried to either gone for the first turret on the top side or rotated to the dragon. So that's just really key. Tracking the enemy jungler as a laner, it's not only the jungler's job as a laner, you should be paying attention to the rotations, what they're going to be doing. So over here, I was just trying to get some warded up. I was just trying to ward up the area for the drag. Let's see, I think I'm backing off. I'm just taking my jungle for now. I'm not forcing anything too crazy. That's bot side's got to watch out. Kha'Zix is in the area. Ooh, that's a very far step up. Let's see. Now my team's trying to collapse on him. Oh, we're able to pick up the Lucian. They honestly got lucky. I don't know what the Kha'Zix was doing. Oh, the Kha'Zix was probably taking his wolves in the back. So for now, I'm trying to kite back to my teammates. I get my ult off, and I'm trying to keep near my teammates because Kha'Zix's strength comes from attacking isolated targets. And over here, that was a very bad engage for us. We really didn't have the damage. I think we burned a lot of stuff to get that kill on the Lucian earlier, so that was a very bad fight for us. We were not able to deal the damage that we needed to. Got bursted down. So that was a bit unfortunate. But when I'm fighting the Kazakhs in a 1v1, one of the key things for me is to block off a lot of the Kazakhs damage. And how do you do that as a Wukong? The best way to block off the Kazakhs damage, the burst of the Kazakhs damage comes from his leap, his jump ability combined with his first ability. That's what does the most damage for him. So of course, right when he jumps, he's going to use his first ability. So as soon as I see him jumping towards me, what I need to do is I need to use my clone as soon as he's jumping on me. Then he's going to use his first ability on the clone, and I'm going to avoid a lot of burst. So let's see, I'm keeping an eye on this top side again. And over here, notice what I'm pinging, look on the minimap. I know exactly where this Kazakhs is again, just because I know he took his blue buff, okay? I know that's gone. And I know his red buff respawned, because his red buff timer is identical to mine, and my red buff had just spawned. Plus, he just resetted from that dragon, okay? He's in base, what do you do from that point? Most of your jungles over here is gone. We saw he took these over here when he was doing right before the dragon. So that means his red side is the only thing that's up. His red side just spawned. His red buff it's literally up. So as you can see, I'm literally spam pinging the jungle. I'm like, if we're going to go for this, we got to be careful in case Kazakhs counter ganks us. I don't have ult or anything, so this can be kind of risky. So you can see I would go for this to see if we could burst him down fast enough. We clearly are not. Nami's a bit slippery, but as you can see, I was a bit cautious over there. And we could check to see if he was over there. Fog of War off. Yep, you can see him and Katarina were both in the area. Kazakhs had just taken the red buff. And if you didn't know, if you're like struggling to know which buffs the enemy took, just look right below the enemy champ. You can see the red circle around him. He took the red buff. I mean, he just took it more specifically, but we see that. So that was very good of us to back off instead of trying to force that. So now we're setting up for this Herald fight. I tried to shove this wave in. I want to shove this wave in because I want these waves to be shoved in before we get to Herald. And I think this Nami does a lot of damage. I didn't expect Nami to do so much damage. Nami completely screws me over. I don't even have flash. And I'd sadly go down here. That was a bit careless on my part, but I look at the items and this Nami is building attack damage. Now, if you don't know this Nami was actually one of my old Bangalore teammates from like one of the teams I was on. And he is a very good player. He plays a lot of off-meta in the solo lane. He did that in Bangalore too. I jungled for him. It worked very well because he likes playing this off-meta damage ability or damage champs that like shouldn't work in the solo lane, but he's so good with them. And I've liked playing support in the jungle, so supportive tanky champs. So it worked very well for us because he didn't like playing support top, but I liked playing support jungle. So we had very good synergy, and I think like that was like the only time that we're actually able to beat Tribe in a tournament. Like he was like the only like laner that I know that could like beat out Old School in a 1v1. If you don't know, Old School is like the ADC for Tribe, and gosh, that guy's insane. I'll be honest with you. I'm trying to track down this Kazakh. I think he's gonna leap over this wall onto the other side over there. He actually destroys that Garen, and now I have to flash for this. Pick up the kill, but we lose the Garen. At this point, I'm trying to hard carry my team. Like, my team, we're 5k gold behind already. I have 7 kills. Our team's 8. I'm trying my hardest. So now I see this Nami's rotating to mid side. Oh, nope, they aren't. They came back. Alright. Let's see, what do I do here? I'm resetting. I got my ult off cooldown. I'm looking at the map. I'm thinking, are they going to apply pressure to this bot side? The Akali goes there, gets the kill. I realize by the time I get there, it's going to be way too late. They're all gone by now. So, I just take my red buff. Keep on farming up. And the reason why I'm going Trinity Force is I just heard that it works very well with your first ability, and you deal a lot of damage with it. Let's see what's going on here. Of course, I go Black Cleaver, because Black Cleaver gives you the armor penetration, so if you're against a lot of tanks that are going to be building a lot of armor, still definitely go Black Cleaver no matter what, but I thought I'd just give Trinity Force a shot. And here I'm trying to get onto this Katarina. Katarina's a slippy one. I lost the Kazakhs, though. I did not. I chose to dip on the Kazakhs for the Katarina. Let's see what's going on this top side. This Nami's just applying pressure in this 1v1. They're taking more plates. Like, with this solo laner was actually like the Bangalore tournament that actually won like the most with. That was a very, very solid team. Like, we were surprisingly good. We were a bit of a sleeper. People didn't realize it, and then we kind of surprised a lot of people out of nowhere. Okay, so now this dragon spawned. I don't have my ult off cooldown, which is a bit of a problem. I'm just trying to chunk this guy down. We get a very good collapse here. They were very split. At this point, you see, I think, let's turn the Fog of War off. As you can see, there are 2 people on this side over here, and 3 people over here. Yeah, we just killed ZZ Dream, so. There's 2 over here, 2 over there. And first of all, the Zakali made a mistake by isolating themselves against the Kazakhs. As you can see, they're isolated. Don't do that. I'm assuming like one Kazakh's first ability and they're going to be dead. This is a very good engage for us. We get the catch out. Trying to get the Braum passive to get the stun. We're able to pick that up. And now let's see. Okay, I'm sorry. Somebody gave me a call, so let's stop the recording for a second. But people just love calling me in the middle of videos for some reason. But as I was saying, I don't know where I was. can't even remember where I was at. They're very split over here, and that's a very hard way to play it, because then both sides have to engage at the exact same time, or you can, if one side gets committed on, then that side's going to get screwed over. Like, we easily got the Lucian there, so now we just pick up the drag and trying to secure this. One thing I want to keep in mind is the Kazakhs. The Kazakhs has probably greater smite potential with his jump, first ability plus smite. It can probably outsmite me, so I got to be cautious of that. I get the smite. I cancel like Katarina. That's huge as a Wukong. Now I'm kind of just dipping. All 3 of us are dipping. I think we lose 1 member there. Oh, actually no, this Nami ult. Oh, what a Nami ult. I remember this. Oh, that Braum got himself killed too. He could have just left. Dang. We got really screwed over there. That was a little bit unfortunate. As you can see, we're super far behind in gold, actually. Like, we really don't have the gold advantage right now. Ooh, hopefully Akali picks up these kills. That's good. We don't have the gold advantage right now, so... And that was a 5v4 too, I think, because we'd killed the Lucian before. So that was a bit rough, but... This Akali again has to watch out. Look, he's isolating himself. You can't be doing that against the Kazakhs. You need to go around here, stand around minions so you don't get isolated. Because minions will keep you from getting isolated, or standing around ally champs. One thing that I actually want to know about Wukong is, does your clone make you unisolated versus Kazakhs? That's something I'm not entirely sure of yet. So, if you know about that, let me know in the comments. We'll figure that out sometime soon. But we're actually like top 30 Wukong right now. We can push up to top 10 if we want, but I'd much rather learn other champs for y'all. Some of the champs that I want to do in the future very soon are Pantheon, Lee Sin, Fizz. I was waiting for the patch notes to come out. I just took a look at the patch notes, which literally just came out a little bit ago, and I just wanted to see what the champ changes were before I decided what to do videos on. And most of those champs weren't touched. Fizz was touched up a bit, some small changes, but now I'm just trying to chase down this Kazakhs. And another thing, a key thing is, notice how I did not use my 3rd ability to engage again, and that's because I know Kazakhs has his jump, and if I do that, then he's just going to... If I use my 3rd ability to engage, then he's going to jump away, and I'm going to have no way to chase after him, so... That's very important. And now we're trying to take this Baron. We got 4 of us here, 4 versus 2. I like those odds, but they were not good odds. I liked them, but they didn't work out. Who went diving in? The Israel just went dashing in. You know, that was... Come on, gotta do better than that. Right into a Nami Katarina? That's not the move at all. So we're trying our best. We're trying to get our team into this match. We're still 9,000 gold behind, which is a lot of gold. And at this stage of the game, my damage is going to start to fall off. Of course, now it's time for the ADCs to step up, do their damage, because it's getting to a very late game, so... I gotta start doing their parts, hopefully. That's the main goal now. We have a beefy front line with me, Braum, Garen. That's a really big front line for him, so... Hopefully we can make this work. But if you're enjoying the content, make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. And what is... Ooh, I'm trying... Yeah, spam pinging this guy. Don't go for that, because I know they're just going to rotate straight from mid. Like, Nami is super slippery. He got bubbled up, ulted. Nami has a lot of movement speed. That's tough luck for you. Instead, I go right into these squishies, which I know I can get onto. I easily pick up the Cena, trying to get the double kill, and the damage from my Q is very strong, actually. That's with Triforce. I think Triforce definitely does work very well with your first ability. Like, watch this onto Lucian. Let's see how much damage I do. I completely almost destroy him, even with almost no health at all. Do we get this guy? Oh, do I get the triple kill? Yes, I get the triple. I picked up 3 kills there. What's going on? Oh, this is like Holly, man. They gotta keep on getting caught up by this Kazakhs. Oh, wait, actually, do they live? At least they forced the flash, at least. At least they forced the flash. That's good. So now this dragon spawning, we're setting up. We gotta watch out for the Kazakhs going in for the steal. And I want to talk about a very key part of my job in these fights at this point. It's canceling the Katarina ult. If Katarina jumps on this pit and they get an ult, which is what happened in like the second dragon fight. If here I'm like, where's Kazakhs? Where's Kazakhs? I get the smite off, which is good. Get the secure. If Katarina like jumps in a pit like that and ults, it's gonna completely delete our squishies. So it's my job to cancel that ult because I have very good CC. So now I'm pinging retreat. We don't want to be chasing this comp. That's really key against this comp. We can't be chasing them super far. Like, they're just going to kite us back so easily with what they have. Like, Lucian, Cena, Nami, those are all champs that can easily kite our front line. And this guy's overextended again. It goes down. Now the question is, are they going to force Baron? They picked up a kill on our ADC. Looks like they're heading towards it. I'm just taking red for now. Let's see, I'm keeping an eye on this. At this point, this is a hard decision. Do you contest this or not? We all have our ults up, which is very key. So I think we can at least stop him here. I was keeping an eye to see how low the Baron was, to see if I can get a steal. I really wasn't able to do much. They're pretty beefy. We're again split and isolating. That was just a very sloppy team fight on our part. We really just don't have the damage without ADC damage because, again, I only deal so much damage in the late game. And then Akali's, they didn't do too much. They didn't even ult in that fight. Dang, Akali didn't even ult. Neither did Garen. Dang, what are they doing? Come on, at least press ult before you die. At least do that much. So now I'm trying to get onto this Lucian. They're able to get away. I just clear these camps, get some levels. Looks like they get Baron. Or do they? Oh no, they don't do Baron. Okay, that's good. They might have been too low from that fight. That was good then. That fight, that worked out well then. Let's see, I'm spam pinging. Watch out. Again, because at this stage of the game, if you aren't warded up around these areas when the enemy has good positioning advantage, they could easily be sitting in one of these bushes and catching you out, especially these two over here that we both have warded up. Those are very important bushes to keep an eye out. Or if you're contesting a drag, a lot of times people will be sitting in this bush if a drag's up and they know you're going to walk up to check if you're doing the drag. That's another very common bush. So now I'm pinging the Garen like, dude, just chill. Just chill. Right now, I really want our team to group because notice what I'm doing. Notice what I'm doing this time. This is very key here. I saw the Kazakhs was coming this way, and I stood near the Akali. And the reason for that is I know this Akali's getting isolated so much this match, and it's my job to make sure. I'm literally standing next to this Akali. I'm pinging. I'm like, yo, it's just come. They run away from me. That's the problem there. Yo, this Nami's going in deep. They get the kill, but we should be able to get the return kill. Yep. This Nami really has to, or the Akali has to stick next to me. I was trying my best to stay near them, but they keep on isolating themselves versus these Kazakhs. And that's what's given this Kazakh so many kills. Like, we did good against him in the early game. We literally got a very early kill on him. I think we got like the second kill of the game on him. And he found his way back into this game, just focusing the right targets and finding isolated targets. That's good on his part. Bad on my teammates' part for isolating themselves. And ooh, remember I was talking about if you don't have these bushes warded up in the late game, it's going to be rough. I get good ult. I get a good ult. They definitely overstepped. They didn't have their entire team here. Their Nami was down, so. Gotta watch out for the Katarina ult. I run away. I realized that as soon as I ulted that I don't have my ult to cancel Katarina ult. Luckily, they weren't able to get any kills, so they didn't get too many resets. Garen teleports in. And ooh, this Lucian's kind of out of position. Let's see if we get him. Garen ult. That's a Garen ult there. Yup, and that's a kill. Gotta go and clear this top wave now. Let's see, yep. I see this drag is spawning right now, so I gotta get to that drag as fast as I can. I really want to force the fight right now, because right now their Lucian's down. They don't have their ADC, so it's a 5v4, and I think we should fight this. Our teammates are low. Our Garen got super low already. What are we doing? Let's see, I'm trying to put down some damage. Can't do too much. I don't want to get rooted by the Cena, so just clone out. Yep, now we're just gonna chill until everybody gets back. Just trying to ward up the place. They're clearing out wards, that's very good on their part. Keep us from getting any vision. I land a really good ult there. I gargle right afterwards, and we're able to force him back. We get good positioning with that. We do burn a lot of stuff, but we do force him back, and I think that's very important at this stage of the game. At least we bought ourselves some breathing room instead of getting camped in bushes the entire time. Now we're kind of getting forced back again. They're healing up a bunch, and again, this Kali, you gotta watch out. Let's see, what am I up to? I'm in the back here. I realized this was a lost fight. Like, going in like that, that's... They keep on throwing by going in like that. As you can see, we're still 11k gold behind. We aren't even caught up at all, so... These fights won't even be going in our favor, most likely, so... That was a bad engage. I think, at this point, we just stall and try and see how long we can stall and just get some passive gold, farm up as much as you can. Because at this stage of the game, gold leads start to fall off just because everybody starts to get all their core items and everything, so... like a 5k gold lead at this point, it won't really matter at all. It's more of how you play the fights. So now, what do? Oh, we make a very ballsy call here. I notice both the waves are shoved, right? One of their teammates are dead. We see the Cena recalling. I'm like, I know somebody's gonna go and clear this top wave. I'm like, let's go for this. So we make the call to go for this. You can see we're a little bit split. We're like, let's just commit to this. And the reason for that is because I honestly don't think we're going to win a full-on 5v5. Like, we're so far behind. And with the Elder that they just got, instead we get this Baron. I'm able to get it. And we force them in a very bad spot. I think that's very key on their part. They really made a bad decision. I think they should have given up the Baron. Of course, it's bad on their part that they weren't able to contest it at all. But now I go up to this top side. I really want to maximize the Baron buff by pushing as many lanes as I can. Because if we get 2 inhib turrets at this point in the game, I think we can win. Like, 2 inhib turrets is huge. 1 inhib turret is of course good, but if you can get 2, that's really key. My team, they're getting engaged upon. They shouldn't be playing so far up. I go for this inhib turret. They keep on chasing, and at this point, what the Akali needs to do is go back in there and keep him from recalling. And I think they realize that. They realize I'm going for the end, and look, they're just chasing to try and keep them from recalling as fast as I can. I'm going for the end. I get the end. Oh, I did it. Whoa, what was that? Oh, way to ruin the moment. Okay. But that was a very intense match. We played that very well. It ended with a ballsy call. It was definitely worth it because the matches, the full-on 5v5 fights just were not going in our favor. So at that point, I think it's worth it to make a little bit of a risky call, force them into a sticky situation. Do you just give up the Baron or do you go for the steal in the fight? And the Kha'Zix Katarina decided to go in for the steal. We were able to win that out, so that was very good, and we did a lot of damage for building 1 damage item. You can see our mid laner didn't particularly do too much. Our Israel started to put out some damage at the end of it. That was a very fun match. I hope you all enjoyed. You can support the channel by subscribing. It's free, if you just want to. If you like me that much, like my videos. But that's going to be it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.